So 81% of people will fail their New Year's goals by February alone. And this video is not for everyone. If you are looking for some get rich quick hack to make you rich overnight, then this video is not for you and I recommend you going somewhere else. This video is for serious players who watch my channel who want to understand insights into why winners win and losers lose. With that being said, if you are serious, I highly recommend you watch all the way through and enjoy the source because this is some information that changed my life. And I know for a fact it can do the same for you if you take action with it. So enjoy and let's get into it.
Block out just 5 minutes so you understand how to use this vision and execution planner that I'm literally going to be giving you for free. And it's super important you understand this because if you don't, you're going to be at a massive disadvantage in the new year. And if you watch 5 minutes, I'm then going to be laying out the steps on how I'm going to be making millions of dollars in 2025 and how you can do the exact same. Now, you may be thinking, Charlie, what the hell is this Google Sheets? What is a vision blueprint? What are the calendar actions? What is reverse engineering calculator? I'm going to explain it. So people who set goals are more likely to achieve things because they simply know where they're heading. Arnold Schwarzenegger made hundreds of millions of dollars being able to visualize his dream life to the point where it was so vivid it felt like he already achieved it. And that is what you're going to be doing. Spending 15 minutes filling this out, and I promise you it's going to help. Is this going to make you rich overnight? No, absolutely not. However, it will act as a precursor to what is called the observer effect, which basically states that in quantum physics, the more we focus on something, the more likely it is to happen. So by you seeing this every single day in terms of your dream item, your dream annual recurring revenue, the location that you would absolutely love to live in, and yeah, stuff like that, and what beliefs the person who is deserving of having these three things operate in is going to help. And then below this, we have the calendar actions for every single month, and it even is a calculator to the point where it actually tallies it up. So you can sort of gamify doing your actions. Now, it doesn't have to be an item. It could be your daughter if you have a child. That is amazing. That is 10 times better than putting Audemars Piguet, which is what I've put. I just don't have children, and I don't have a girlfriend, which I'm single. So you can just delete this and go insert, put a image, oversells, very important, you click that, and then just choose the image you want, and you can make it a bit smaller, and now you're good to go. You will see this above your daily actions every single day to hopefully motivate you. Now, I need you to put your annual recurring revenue, so how much you want to make per year, and this is just scratching the surface. If you keep watching, I'm going to be showing you how to reverse engineer this to make it crystal clear in terms of what you need to be doing every single day on an execution premise. Now, this can be a sharp screenshot. You can very easily go onto Google and just do the same thing in terms of adding an image oversells. And then obviously same for the location. This is obviously where I live already, so I didn't really have anywhere else to put it. But you get the point. And then finally, you go onto Google Docs and you write out a checklist of things that of beliefs that the people who have these things operate in. So for example, someone who has a Porsche, makes $10,000 a day, lives in Dubai, they operate at a high frequency, guaranteed. That is guaranteed. High frequency meaning they're charismatic, people are drawn to them in terms of they have that energy that's positive, and I'm sure you know that one person that, you like being around. They make you feel good. That is someone operating at a high frequency. They are grateful, which increases your frequency. They understand that doing less is more, so less work is actually better. Newsflash, you shouldn't be spending 8 hours per day at your desk. It should be 3 hours, 4 hours of pure deep work, focusing on the growth levers, which are things that directly make your business more revenue. They understand that they need to invest heavily back into the business, spending thousands per day. Yes, you heard that correctly, thousands per day. They understand that deep work is the most important thing, not spending 10 hours in front of their laptop like an NPC. Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest minds of all time, he said that the greatest men do the best work when they work the least. He would work and paint his paintings for 5 hours, 8 hours at a time, and then he would walk in nature for days. And that is what he did, because he understands that it's about getting into that flow in the growth levers that are going to actually make your business more money. And we'll dive into that in a second, so keep watching to understand what your growth levers will be. And obviously hiring A players is key. Steve Jobs talks about the importance of that all the time. But obviously if you're going from 0 to 10K per month, you can probably remove hiring because you can do that yourself. But nonetheless, these beliefs stay the same most often than not. So what I need you to do is change the location, change how much money you want to make on an annual recurring basis. And obviously we want to be going way bigger. So now let's go into the reverse engineering calculator, because this is going to set the stage for what you're actually going to be doing on a day-to-day basis. So let's say your goal is 5 million. And I need you to go bigger than smaller. I want you to set the bar extremely high, ridiculously high, because if you do that, what that means is your failure will now be most people's success. Let me repeat that. If you go for a goal that's 10 times bigger than what you want, if you want to be making 100k a year, go for $1 million. Because we're going to be reverse engineering how to make $1 million in terms of what you need to do on a day-to-day basis to achieve that. So if you do that, and if you fall short, you'd be so much further ahead than setting your goal as 100k, as an example. I need you to go bigger. So let's just say 5 million is the goal. That would be $13,698 per day, which is something that I'm going to be working towards, hence why I put the screenshot right here. At a 5k price point, you need 2.73 sales per day. Let's say you get 15 appointments, 60 of them show up, now you're down to 9 appointments. You have an 80% offer percent rate, because obviously you don't pitch every single person that shows up for an appointment. That's an indicator of lead quality. You get 7 qualified, showed up appointments you can present your offer in front of, and let's say you have a 30% closing rate, that's 2.1 sales per day, which gets you the 13,000 per day. Now this is on a macro level, a big level. Let's go deeper. How do you get the 15 appointments a day? So here are the micro leading indicators. So let's say someone like me who needs 9 showed up appointments per day to make 13,000 a day, or 10,000 a day, let's say roughly dollars. I would need to get 50,000 long form views with a simple book a call CTA, call to action. And that's a 1% conversion rate, which is typically what you'll get from a long form asset. You can do that from a short form asset as well, depending on what it is. But that's 500 meetings you can get from 50,000 long form views. It's for cold calling, you use cold DMs, cold emails. I'm going to explain all of that in the slides I'm going to show you in a second, so keep watching. But this is just me breaking down how you need to be breaking this down to actually understand what you need to do on a very crystal clear level. So obviously 50,000 views, and we do buy daily long form to increase the chance of us getting 50,000 views. And that's in a month obviously, which you get us 500 meetings. And obviously if you do the maths, 60% show up rate, you're looking at around the 9 appointments a day. So this is how it works. You need to be doing this. You now need to understand what you actually need to do in the day. So let's look at the BSA framework, which is a framework that's going to make it almost impossible for you to fail if you follow this carefully. So you do not want to miss this. Now, the BSA framework is building, sales, automation. Now, these are the only 3 things that you should be doing when you're starting out. And I'm going to go through them in literally 5 minutes. So building, what the hell is building? Well, building is how you're going to start your day. The first 90 minutes of your day is going to be a deep work block where you're going to be building an asset, so a content asset. It can be short form, it can be long form, but the goal of this is to build up digital real estate in your niche. Let's say you're a specialist in AI. When people search for AI, you need to be taking up that digital real estate in the search engine, so SEO, on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, things like that. Because SEO is going to be increasingly more popular in 2025. People aren't using Google as much. They're using TikTok, they're using YouTube to search for their problems, which means they're already problem aware, meaning they're going to be the perfect, ideal client that's going to naturally flow through your funnel into cash, which is very important. The second 90-minute deep work block of your day, only if you have clients. Let me repeat that. Only if you have clients, you'll be working on fulfillment, which is building fulfillment for your clients. So this is the first part, the BSA framework, building. So hopefully this makes sense. If you don't have clients, you would replace fulfillment, which would be the second 90-minute deep work block, with something like building another asset. It could be a cold email system. It could be a cold DM system. It could be a cold caller you hire as an SDR. You get the point. It could be you doing cold calls, which I would recommend if you're starting, depending on what niche. But if you post a short and an Instagram reel in the first one, you can now make a long form in the second 90 minutes, as an example. But you could replace that if you're working with local businesses with cold calls, hypothetically. But let's go more into this. So sales. So BSA, building, sales, automation. These are the only 3 things you need to focus on in 2025. Sales, let's say you're helping online service providers. This would be the next probably 60-minute deep work block. And once again, we're only going to be working 4 to 5 hours a day to get to 10, 50k a month. Like, that's honestly what it takes. It's not working like long periods of time, I promise you. So helping online service providers, you'd want to be doing cold DMs and maybe calling them, and you can do about 60 to 100. Very simple. You can do the rule of 100 for sales, meaning you just do 100 of an advertising activity, usually direct response, like cold outreach. Now, let's say you're helping local business owners. You could do cold calling and you could just do 50 dials, let's say 10 conversations as a metric point of view. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you don't have clients, yeah, this is not meant to be easy, because if it was, everyone would be freaking rich and it wouldn't mean anything. It would mean jack shit if everyone could just do cold calls and yeah, with no fear, right? It's meant to be scary. Where your fear is, there your task is. Carl Jung, you need to understand that. And anything else outside of these things that I'm mentioning right here is a complete distraction. You only get better fulfillment when you have clients. How on earth are you meant to get better at your products when you aren't getting customers? You can't get feedback. You can't do anything. You have to earn and learn. A lot of people rely on hope in their life. Business they work for doesn't go out of business, go bankrupt. They hope that when they retire, their S&P 500 doesn't crash, the market doesn't crash. You see what I mean? Everyone relies on hope. Very few people, like me and you, are wanting to develop skills that no matter what happens at any given point, we can make the money back. Now, automation, this is something that you wouldn't be doing until you get to about $5,000 per month, because, yeah, why would you automate when you haven't found something that works? You automate to increase inputs. You don't increase inputs if you haven't found it to work initially. So, yeah, focus on maximization over leverage when starting. Maximization is getting the most. Leverage is getting the most for your time. So you need to focus on just getting the most, period. Show you what this would look like on a daily calendar. Because I know there'll be someone in the comments being like, oh, I still don't understand what I have to do because, I don't know, you're stupid. No offense. But let's say the first 90 minutes, which is building block 1. So boom, that's 90 minutes. You can call this building 1. And then this would be an asset. So something you post online, whether it's a short form, long form, whatever. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. Just get started. And then let's say you take a 30-minute break. You do, 11 a.m. till 12:30 p.m., which is building 2. And you can obviously color code this to make it look nice and beautiful, as you can see. And this is obviously going to be either fulfillment if you have a client. And if you don't have a client, then this would be another form of asset or, sales. But obviously we have the 60-minute work block right here, which could be, let's say, purple. Let's go purple, which would be sales. And you want to put how many you have to do. So let's say 50 cold calls. And this is fundamentally all you need to do to get to 10K per month. That is it. You see how simple it is? The 5 habits with the BS8 actions. So for example, 50 calls, post on Instagram reel, ideally take sales calls, or you can even replace this for something you can control, because you can't really control sales calls. You can control your inputs. So this could look something like post YouTube video. And if you do this, you can see that it immediately puts it 1. And obviously this is meant to be 30. There's 30 days as an example in January. And obviously, this shows what you do each day. So we hit 5. And then obviously you want to do all of this for each day. Now, you don't have to get 100% accurate for the month. That's unrealistic. About 80% is what we're looking for. But you get the point. This is a tally, very important, and you'll be using this every day. And obviously you'd get the benefits of the observer effect by looking at this very simply. So that is essentially how this works. And obviously it's the same stuff. And you can obviously change this over time. But ideally, it will never be the thing that doesn't work. It will be you that doesn't work. So with that being said, you can get access to this in the description. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss videos coming in the new year, because I'm going to be posting some absolute bangers that you should definitely watch. And have an amazing day. Share it with a friend, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.